The straight stitch is the most common stitch used while sewing. It is the basic default seam that holds everything together. Basting is the same as a straight stitch, just a longer stitch length so that it is easily removed. Basting also happens inside the seam allowance. Gathering stitches are 2 basting stitches done about 1/4 of an inch apart. You will grab either the top or bottom threads and gently pull to gather the fabric. Back tack or back stitch is done by pressing the reverse stitch. You only need to do a couple of stitches for this to work. On vintage machines, you may need to use a hand wheel. Stay stitching is used to stabilize curves in the fabric or a bias cut. You can either run a straight or a basting stitch inside the seam allowance to do this. Top stitching is the most common way to finish a garment, with either a top stitch hem or a top stitch over the edge to keep it from rolling. Edge stitch is similar to a top stitch, but done 1/4 to 1/8 an inch away from the edge. You can also use this to stitch down seam allowances and finish 2 pieces of fabric. I use it most often when I make waistbands and casings. Stitch in the ditch is when you stitch in the seam line of the garment. Typically, this is used to finish cuffs and attach linings. The box stitch is a very secure stitch used to attach something that will get a lot of wear or need to carry a lot of weight. You do this by edge stitching a box, then stitching an X through it. It takes a lot of pivoting and maneuvering, but it provides a nice strong attachment. I use this most often when I make plackets.